That is a tasty beverage. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in that technicolor rainbow between it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb, and I got vocals this week.
Yay. It's Mr. Petty.
Yeah, I'm Rick. Jesus.
All right. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us here once again on Blerds and Whiskey live on Facebook and YouTube. We got a great show lined up for you as always. Let's go ahead and get right into our drinks of the week. Your boys are drinking good. What you got?
I am drinking Absolute Vodka with ginger ale and pineapple juice.
Okay. Okay.
I am drinking Jameson Caskmate stout with a hint of coffee flavor, and I made myself a Manhattan.
All righty.
Good old number 7.
Can't see it. Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay. Going with my favorite, but I actually got the Caskmates as well. So this is pretty good. Pretty good stuff. That and my favorite
IPA or stout or
no, this is stout. And my favorite vanilla Coke. So Jameson and Coke. All right. Let's get right into it. Big Herb.
All righty. So starting off, as always, check out every week. We have Herb's, Blerds, and Sports and Whiskey. Go and check it out on YouTube and IG. Like, share, subscribe. OTTV on Roku. Go and check out his old shows and our old shows on his channel on OTTV on Roku. BlurCon. $60 weekend passes are still on sale. Be sure to get them so we can go and check you guys out in your cosplays when you get there. Guys, on May 31st and June 1st of 1921, it was a sad day in Tulsa, Oklahoma. For those of you who don't know, that is the Tulsa Massacre when Black Wall Street. This is a very successful area in Tulsa, Oklahoma with the Black community, and they were pretty much just massacred because of a white woman had made an accusation on a Black person. And yeah, we want to send our love to the families that were affected. It's been over 100 years, and we're finally trying to see if we can actually get some of the history said in schools, because it's a sad situation that is never even brought up nowadays. So it's the 100th anniversary. Also, 1 month into, Donnie Yen is going to be on the new John Wick 4. That should be interesting. It sounds pretty cool. Donnie Yen and what's his name? It's wow.
Keanu Reeves.
I can't wait.
I kind of hope. Sorry to interrupt. I kind of hope it's the Donnie Yen from Flashpoint that shows up in John Wick, because I don't want Ip Man Donnie Yen or Snowman from Blade 3. Was it Blade 2 or Blade 3? Blade 2. I don't want the Snowman from Blade 2 showing up. I want the Flashpoint Donnie Yen showing up, the MMA brawling, the grappling MMA brawling.
What about the Donnie Yen from Triple X3, The Return of Xander Cage?
I'm going to ignore that one. And no, also do not want the Tiger. I don't want the Tiger Gate, Dragon Gate, Tiger Gate, whatever of Donnie Yen either. Maybe it wasn't Flashpoint, but it was another one that had like it was a good Donnie Yen movie. Had one of the fight scenes had ended up with him like doing like some sort of weird sword fighting with like these metal batons with some dude. Oh, and it was pretty cool. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Mortal Kombat.
No, it wasn't Mortal Kombat.
Dude.
It's too early. It's too early.
Too early for that, man.
Too early.
All right, guys. So one thing that I am actually excited about is 1 month until we actually get Black Widow. We've been waiting for this thing for over a year now, and we just want to see it finally. So I'm happy to say next month it's going to be coming out. And this Wednesday, Loki finally makes his appearance. So
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm laughing is because I remember somebody was like, "Man, I can't wait for this movie Black Widow to drop." So she dropped in Endgame.
I was actually about to say, I can't wait to watch Taskmaster drop her ass just like Thanos dropped her ass on the side of that cliff.
Jesus.
Actually, it was Hawkeye that dropped her, but you know.
You're right. Excuse me. I misspoke. But they both ended up in the same position. So hey.
Right, you know what I'm saying? She over there looking at Gamora like, "Sup?" No, I'm sorry. They were like this. Sup?
So I guess that was
so bad. So bad.
One green blood, one red blood. It's just everywhere.
Oh, man.
So also, Avengers Campus is officially open. So I'm just saying, maybe when the pandemic starts to open up a little bit, why don't we make a trip out there?
Out to California.
No.
I'm with it. I'm gonna go to Anaheim. I'm gonna love to go to Anaheim just so I can start. I'm gonna harass every superhero that I see. I'm gonna grab Thor's hammer and run around screaming, "I am worthy! I am worthy!" I'm gonna go to the Hank Pym test kitchen and I'm gonna they got. So I looked at a full little video, it's a 30-minute video on YouTube, on the Marvel YouTube or whatever. They give you a rundown of everything. The Hank Pym test kitchen, they got you can get this big thing of spaghetti, and it's got one little meatball in it that they say they hit it with Pym particles, and another one that they hit with Pym particles to make it grow. So you get one extra large meatball and one really small meatball. They got an oversized chicken sandwich that's like a chicken cutlet that's this damn big. But the bun is really small. It looks pretty cool. They have a web academy basically where it's just Spider-Man and Cindy Kim and a bunch of other people are working on different products and different types of tech and all of that stuff. It looks pretty cool. And then plus the fact that as a part of the little video that they showed, the video package, Anthony Mackie passed the shield off to. There's going to be a Black Captain America walking around, so that's just going to be great. So all you Trump supporters, I know you're going to hate that.
So I want to clarify. I was saying no to traveling with you all to California to see this. I'm not saying I don't want to go, but I'm just don't want to travel with you all. No offense. I can't imagine a road trip with y'all or.
We wouldn't drive.
I'm not driving.
I'm about to say a road trip to California. Listen,
No,
I love you guys. I'll kill all of you niggas by the time we get to the Midwest.
No, not happening. I can tell you right now.
So we know who's getting done. We know who's getting done in first.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, we are all flying. We're all getting our own different hotel rooms.
Yeah, done deal.
Rickster, I know you got another reason you might want to go to California because somebody's been calling you out from over on the other side of the states.
Man, listen, I'm not worried about Gadooni. and oh, look, I have a bunch of DVDs from the 80s. Man, shut up. I'm gonna come in your house, I'm gonna kick your dog, and I'm gonna take your leftovers out of your refrigerator on your show. That's my response, since I didn't even put up a video.
Off-camera guy has something to say.
In case y'all didn't know, and we talked about freaking Army of the Dead, Rick is our Vanderhook. Don't worry about this song. Just don't touch it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and Gadonia's in the comments. Sure you will.
I did see that. What's his name? I think it was they had Doctor Strange when he was finally doing the realm opening up. So I thought that was pretty dope. I'm willing to make the trip over there just to go and see it. But I will say this: I'm rooting for everybody black because Issa Rae just got the part as Spider-Woman on Enter the Spider-Verse.
Clarification for anyone who's about to say, but she's not. It's a voiceover. So hopefully, I don't know if they're gonna make Spider-Woman black. We've seen voice actors who are actors who are of color who play people who weren't of color just because they had a good voice for it. So we don't know, but in my opinion, maybe they'll give Spider-Woman the personality that they've been trying to give her since they made her a scroll queen
since forever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can I clarify something real quick? I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, Mrs. Gadoni. I didn't know you were in the comments. I'm not gonna kick your dog. I'm just gonna kick Andrew's dog. So it's different. It's totally different things. I'm just gonna kick his dog, not your dog.
Okay. All right. I'm really looking forward to Issa Rae playing this role. I think she will bring, like you guys said, a lot of characters to the role. But I'm hoping they're going to draw her as a black woman. I would like to see that. We are dealing with multiversal situations, so why not have a black Jessica Drew. I almost said Jessica Jones. But why not make her black? Why not make her sassy black? So basically we get Issa from Insecure and with superpowers, you know, catching webs in the face.
You've seen the episode in the mirror.
Have you seen Issa Rae act in anything
besides Insecure?
Yeah,
exactly.
No. I was about to say because she's always Issa Rae from Insecure in everything.
Yeah. Okay, right? Well then it should be good.
Yeah, she's one of those character actors. It's like you don't pay, you don't watch to see her play a role. You watch her in that role.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'd love to see it. I just want to see more representation all over the place. That's what I want to see.
I just want to see Issa Rae. I'm not even gonna.
I mean, yeah, that too. But she's a cartoon, so it does nothing for me. But yeah, go ahead.
That's never stopped me before.
Yeah, it really has.
Oh man.
We want to send a shout out to the LGBT community. It is Pride Month. So yeah, so Pride Month, we're gonna represent you guys well this episode. So and
we're gonna represent them.
You know what I mean, guys. I mean, we're gonna go ahead.
That's how you feel.
I was about to say,
you were there, and then you kind of like overdid it. All right.
We love you. Let's enjoy your month.
Let's rein it back in. Let's rein it back in. So speaking of the LGBTQ plus community, we're gonna go ahead and start our character of the week. And go ahead and get that started. Go ahead, roll that footage.
This is a good one.
Character of the week. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Today's character of the week is Daken Akihiro, also known as Wolverine's son, Daken. Daken is a half Canadian, half Japanese person. He was a result of one of Wolverine's excursions to Japan. His mother, Itsu, was one of Wolverine's fiance. And we all know how Wolverine's love interests end up. That dude should just... Anyway, he was literally ripped from his mother's womb and raised by Japanese foster parents under the, let's say, not so lovable environment. Due to the fact that he's a half-breed, they considered him a mongrel, which is how he got the name Daken, which means literally translation like dog or mongrel or something like that. Basically abused and never loved and blah, blah. Because comics. He lashed out at his family, and he did eventually kill his foster parents at a fit of rage. That's when his powers were developed, or when he showed up. The guy who actually did kill his mother, Romulus, was a master manipulator of Wolverine from the jump. He then was trained by Cyber, who's also trained Wolverine, or abused, whatever, how you want to put it. He has the same abilities as Wolverine, such as healing factor, heightened senses, but he also has a strange placement for his claws. He has 2 claws that come from the top of the wrist and 1 that comes from the middle. He also has a emotionally manipulative ability with pheromones, which also goes to his personal lifestyle. Anyway, we'll get to that later. He was lied to from the beginning about the fact that his mom was killed by Wolverine instead of by the actual person who did kill him, which was Romulus. He sought after vengeance for Wolverine, pretty much stalking and trying to kill Wolverine and eventually replace him. He did at one time, with one of his third claws, have the Masamuru blade was tipped on to the end of one of his claws, which is the only claw that can stop the healing factor in characters such as Wolverine, Sabretooth, and all the other Pharaoh characters like that. One of the things about him that makes him an interesting character is his Machiavellian kingpin-like ability. He is a strategist and master manipulator. He's double-crossed Norman Osborn. He's double-crossed this group when he used to be part of the Dark Avengers. He took the place of Dark Wolverine. Part of his, I guess, pheromone, he's actually been able to almost kill Scar, which is the son of the Hulk, which is an interesting rivalry. He also has some sort of a sibling rivalry with X-23. What makes him also part of the reason why we brought him into today's Character of the Week is because of his sexuality that's been brought into question a couple of times. He has basically, he might be considered bisexual, but due to his character and how he manipulates things, he's no more heterosexual than he is homosexual. For him, it's more like manipulation and control. Kind of does whatever. I don't think he even would classify himself as bisexual or whatever sexual orientation he would. He's been with both men and women, though, so to each his own. But again, it's less about desire, more like the control and manipulation of the situation that he was in. He had some weird pact with Wolverine at one time, but that only could last for so long. Again, mass manipulator. Daken has been killed, I don't know how many times, like 4 or 5 different times. One of the last times he was killed, he was literally drowned, or supposedly drowned. He was either resurrected or never died, but eventually became one of the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, naturally became death. He was then gifted with energy claws, as if his claws weren't weird or deadly enough as it is. So, character of the week, Daken. I hope you see therapy. Back to you guys. All right, y'all, just to give y'all a heads up, the hashtag Camism, all the previous characters of the weeks are going to be uploaded on there, along with stuff from segments from my new podcast is coming up in about a month or so. So just give y'all a heads up.
Good job. I hope you're listening, because when I see you, I'm going to fight you. I'm trying, damn it. I'm trying. God damn it. I will fight you. Moving on.
Real quick, I got a couple questions about. So we chose Daken for obvious reasons. We already stated that, whatever have you. But yeah, I ever think about how he has the Muramasa blades. Everybody knows what those. Well, for those who don't know what they do, they prevent people with healing factors from healing. So he added them to his interior claws, which is the claw that comes out of the base of his palm. Wouldn't when he pops those, wouldn't that cut and he wouldn't heal?
So clarify. When he had that blade on there, he actually ended up getting it broken off. He got his arms broken. Remember, because he doesn't have the bone claws. He doesn't have the metal.
The metal claws. Metal
right.
bones.
So Wolverine literally broke his arm and then took that blade out.
Okay.
But because it's bone, it'll grow back.
Just not with the Muramasa portions.
Correct.
Okay.
But one thing that always did bother me about him is if he has a healing factor, how does he have a tattoo?
Yo.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because comics?
Because comics? All right, you're gonna throw my okay. All right.
No, I got it. There's a little known Marvel character, or Marvel creature known as the Miramasu squid, right? So what they did was they got Miramasu squid ink, and that's how they can tattoo characters with healing factors. Y'all don't know. You got to do deep dives about this shit, man. I live this.
Oh man!
Do you know?
No.
Mute him.
Shut the hell up. Yes. Like, no. You're not just gonna make up fake characters off the fly.
Dude, have you been on this show?
Stanley and Jack Kirby did it.
I'm gonna say, bro, we've mixed like 2 or 3 different Marvel franchises and DC franchises into Fast and Furious. I mean, come on.
I hate you all for that.
And it makes sense too.
And it doesn't make sense. It does. No. Topic one. We're moving on to topic 1. It's too early for y'all to get me all riled up in the show.
Cool.
Real quick. So moving into topic 1. So speaking of ridiculous old ass characters, Vincent Kennedy McMahon decided to go ahead and purge the roster again. Well, I don't know if it was Vincent Kennedy McMahon or if it was Nick Khan, who is the new right-hand man to Vince McMahon. They purged the roster of some more wrestlers a couple weeks after they did it again. A year after they did a really big one that caught everyone off by surprise. This time they released Braun Strowman, who is what Vince McMahon masturbates to, I'm assuming, when he thinks about his wrestlers.
Okay, we'll get monetized for that. Go ahead.
No, we're fine. I got you. I know who we are.
Such great shit.
They released Aleister Black. They released Lana, who should go ahead and take her rightful place by her husband. They also released what was her name? Raquel. They released Ruby Riott, who is an amazing performer. They released Buddy Murphy, who is also another amazing performer. They released Raquel Gonzalez, I believe.
No, they didn't replace her.
No, I'm
Santina
sorry,
Garrett.
Thank you, Santina Garrett. They released her. And when the reason that they gave and the reason that they let everyone else in the back know, they said it was for, John Laurinaitis sent a text message saying it was for budget cuts. Budget cuts when the previous year You had your biggest year in your biggest monetary year in a very long time, and then this year, you surpassed what you did last year. And with zero ticket sales and
no
without
house shows, no
exactly,
touring.
none of that. But monetarily, they Simon Miller said it on What Culture. They have more money than God at this point, but you're releasing performers for budget cuts. How does everybody feel about the nonsense that is WWE at this point?
Go ahead.
Okay, it reminds me of that CM Punk joint that he did some years ago with Laurinaitis, Triple H, and Cena. And he's like, yeah, you. It's the same shit that you did when you came over there and called people. You didn't even take the fact of just going down there and talking to them face to face. You just made the call, hey, wish you on your good endeavors and all that other bullshit. Damn, history is just keeps repeating itself. Vince can't just get out of his way. And it's just, damn it. We're tired of the same bullshit every single time, Vince. I'm ready for him to just go away. I'm not going to say the other word. I just want him to go away.
You want to unalive him?
I want him to go away.
Going to cure his addiction to oxygen? Is that what you're going to do? All right. So, yeah, I'll go next. Yes, we have seen this happen, not in this magnitude with this level of performer, but usually it's a lot of lesser known characters, but it's rare that you have technical mainstays get released like this. But from my understanding, from what I know about, speaking specifically of Braun, he's one of those people that did not have the no cut clause added to his contract. So you're paying him $1.5 million a year. He doesn't have that clause. And if you have budgetary reasons for whatever reason, you can get rid of him. He wasn't in a major storyline. He hasn't done anything notably since for the last 2 years.
Hold on, he fought for the Universal Championship last month.
Trey, he's literally the number one contender.
He hasn't done anything really notable for the last 2 years. He hasn't been the guy. 2 years ago when he was fighting Bray, when he had that title run, the Universal title run, he was quote unquote the guy before Roman came back. But since then, he got lost in a swamp with Bray, and then what? How many years ago was that? I'm sorry, I don't think you guys heard him, but off camera guys yelling in my ear, he flipped the fucking ambulance. But that was years ago. So I'm just thinking of this as in a business mindset. Where do you go from here? You have other up and comers you can pay less to do the same thing essentially.
Trey.
Don't try to do this, Trey. Don't do that.
Trey.
do what?
Trey. Braun Strowman literally was the number one contender for Bobby Lashley's title. He was in the storyline. Just last week, Aleister Black interfered with Big E's Intercontinental Championship, gave him a roundhouse kick. They were going to start a program. The week before that, Alexander Wolf was in a storyline. They cut these people, a lot of these people in mid storyline. Right now, Big E is going against an unknown person to be announced opponent next week, upcoming Friday. Vacant. He's going against Vacant. I
agree. I realize that.
This is the equivalent of let's say you got a story mode and your hard drive crashes, but the story mode keeps going, so you lost all your wrestlers,
all your creative characters.
So you got these blank slates.
A dude in the ring wrestling just a blank slate. Yeah. So I realize that. I recognize that as a fact. I'm just saying. I'm taking my fandom off for a second. And I'm looking at it objectively. Yes, these are problems that can be fixed later, but even if they're not fixed, you know how Vince is going to spin it. We're going to throw someone else in there, and we're going to make it happen.
But it's a problem of his own creation.
Yes, I agree.
Because he's out here trying to hoard wrestlers like a fucking Pokemon collector, and they've inflated their They've inflated and bloated their roster to the point.
Choose you, Samoa Joe.
Right. Ruby Riott, go. I don't understand your character work, but go. you're hoarding all of this talent. You're collecting all of these people. You're putting them on the shelf like you're fucking Tannelir Tavon, and then you come up and say, "Oh, well, for budgetary reasons." Son of a bitch. We all have internet access. We all know what you made this year. Yes. Don't try and stop trying to piss on my fucking head and tell me that somebody's pouring apple juice out of a top-story floor. I know what you're doing. You fucking asshole.
So let me ask y'all this then. Since Rick brought up the fact that he was hoarding talent. So when AEW what, 2 years or 1 year now?
2 years.
Okay, so AEW about 2 years ago, when AEW was a rumor of an upcoming competition, he literally re-signed a bunch of people to hold them into the contract so they wouldn't go over to AEW. 2 years later, now he's just cutting people left and right and just sending them out to the way. Do you think it's because he doesn't see AEW as a threat anymore? Or, he just doesn't care? Like, he got what he wanted out of it?
No.
Like,
I got my money.
I mean, honestly, like, just listening to a lot of insiders and listening to a lot of people who do this for a living, I think Vince is positioning to sell the company. I think not Tony Khan. I think Nick Khan has somehow gotten into his head that, maybe it's time for you to move on. You can't ever make these ungrateful fans, even though we're just asking for quality. You can't make them happy. Oh, the business, you're getting older. Your family's taken care of. Oh, you got all of this in place. You're the icon of wrestling, Vince. So why don't you just go ahead and sell the company? Because he's doing stuff that Fortune 500 businesses do. He's pulling all of his assets. He's cutting down costs to make it look more attractive to somebody who's willing to buy. That's what it seems like to me. Like he's trying to sell the company.
So who do you think he's going to sell it to? Like I've heard rumors of NBC. I've heard rumors of, I don't know, Disney. Like, so it's like, who do you think like he would sell it to? And if so, do you think that would be better for the company? Like, can you imagine like a Disney headed like WWE? Like, I guess they would Peacock. They would move from Peacock to the WWE to Disney Channel Plus or something. Like,
honestly, if you wanted to keep the storylines going with the same inconsistency and stupidity, then Warner Brothers should go ahead and throw their hat
in. What's up, Brock?
Well, no, but think about the possibilities if, like, say, like a Disney company did buy like Marvel, not Marvel, WWE.
Superman with the Superman.
Yeah, no, that would be WB, but
too easy.
What I'm saying, like, you'll have like. New Marvel movie coming up, and it's sponsored. They sponsor the next pay-per-view.
Benedict Cumberbatch hosting Raw. That would be worse than Jeremy Piven and his Summerfest comments. That would be just the worst thing.
I'm just saying, Spider-Man Far From Home, whatever, is sponsoring the next Backlash. Like that's pretty awesome.
I tell you this though. Tom Holland would give the prettiest frog splash since Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, he would.
Absolutely.
He would. Absolutely.
No,
it's.
So sorry, I'm not want to cut you off, but I haven't actually had a chance to say anything about the cuts yet.
Go ahead.
No, it's funny. It's like, all right. So last year, when the cuts happened during 2020, during the midst of a pandemic, everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is the worst company. These soulless bastards." And then, for the most part, most of them are pretty well off right now. I think what they did this year is they knew the bad press they got last year when they did these budget cuts because they're being under a microscope. So I honestly feel like if they did all these cuts at one time, they would have been bashed. So what they did is they spread it out, and they're still getting bashed, but not nearly as heartless. Because think about it, they had like the big budget cut around the same time as last year. Then they did NXT cuts, and then recently just released like 7 to 8 more people in a span of like they've released. God, I had the number. I want to say at least like over 60 something people in like the span of like 2-3 months. And we're just talking about the names that we know. There's also backstage talent that just and corporate people that have been released too.
Well, one of those backstage people that I don't mind is the QAnon ref because he's a crazy asshole.
Yeah, we know.
Bad for image.
So two of the cuts, no one's gonna shed tear over. Velveteen Dream and what's that guy named Drew something? Andrew something or I don't know.
The ref's
name Drake something. Drake something.
I'm not
It begins with a D.
Name. I'm not learning his name because he refused to learn about reality because he believes in QAnon.
And he has the worst tan. He has the worst tan of all wrestlers. How think about of all the wrestlers that tan, he's a referee. Why are you tanning? All you have is like your arms that's exposed. If anything else.
Oh, and real quick, because you mentioned him, I just want to say Patrick Clark, Velveteen Dream, you're a piece of shit.
It really is. No, but also, side note, I do think that there was also some personal things that went along with some of the releases too. If you look at all the people who have been released, at least two of the names are involved with outside, loud speaking representatives of their significant others. Let's be real, Aleister Black definitely got fired because of his wife,
Selena Vega.
Yeah,
and Lana was definitely let go because Yusuf.
His mural all over his goddamn Twitch channel every time he goes live. He might as well just start off with fuck WWE. And then also
he's the new Iron Sheik.
You Vince, fuck you.
Fuck Vince. I will humble you, Vince.
But shout out to him. Apparently he just won the TNT title recently. So he's doing good over there. He's doing good.
Won it. They turned him into the monster heel that he is supposed to be. Yeah. He's doing the heel work he's supposed to do. Also, and Braun Strowman got cut because of that time that he kneed Brock in the face.
Braun Strowman got released because he's like a 37-year-old, but he's still like he's past his prime. He's 37. He's huge, but he's still green. He's big and he's not really performing like he could.
Is he really green though? I mean, he's been in for 5 years. Would that still be considered green?
At the same time, he ever had any major breaks? The only break.
Major breaks. He's been the Universal Champion.
Trey. It wasn't ignore him. Hear me out, Trey. Listen, he's 37 years old. 37. Mm-hmm. So that means 5 years ago, he was still in his 30s when he started pro wrestling training. He came from strawman competition, everything else, but he's past 30, starting his pro wrestling training, right? Unless he's DDP was one of the few exceptions past 30 to start pro wrestling and do something. He
started at 31.
Yeah. So I mean, if you think about the level of potential where he could go and physically where he is, there's not an upside to him. He's still big and he's still big and athletic, but there's no upside to him. There's no future for him. There's no reason to invest.
And he added in those choo-choo noises when he did that run around the ring.
Jesus, I'm pretty sure he did not do that. I'm pretty
sure Vince told him to do that.
I'm pretty sure, exactly.
That was some Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, that was definitely some Kevin Dunn shit. So last question on this topic. What do you guys think? I'm pretty sure that Braun, he's the big ticket item. More than likely, he's going to go to AEW. More than likely, in my opinion. So where do you think everybody else is going to fall? Namely, Aleister Black and
actually more like Tommy N.
Right.
That was his name.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, Tommy N. Buddy Murphy. So
Murphy.
So everybody that got released has a huge upside to them. Most people when they get released, you kind of so a lot of people when they get back in the day when the budget cuts happened, they were either off TV or not doing anything. I do feel like these 6 individuals have a huge upside to them. In all honesty, though, everyone keeps saying AEW. Everyone's forgetting about the other big. That's been my biggest issue with AEW is it's either WWE or AEW now. You got Impact has actually made a various improvement once he got rid of Dixie Carter and Hogan and Bischoff. They made a huge improvement. Yeah. So Impact is actually a good viable competition too. You got Impact, New Japan, Ring of Honor, MLW. You got so many different options right now. That the landscape of pro wrestling is so vast that it's no longer hot dogs and handshakes when people are making, I'm saying you still got, the MCW and, the minor league stuff, but you also got some good contenders where people can make some decent amount of money.
So where do you think those two notably will end up going?
It wouldn't be far-fetched to see Aleister Black go to New Japan. And it's, as far as with Ruby, just to put her out there too, because she was in the midst of a tag team title run. It wouldn't be far-fetched to see her on AEW because they're trying to make their women's division bigger. Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't say that's far-fetched.
Yeah, Ruby Riott would be needed in AEW, but I honestly feel like Ruby Riott should go to Impact because they have a better, more solid women's division in Impact.
So I think Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy for me have New Japan Pro Wrestling written all over them. Like their styles just say, "Oh, we belong here," and plus that crowd is more appreciative to that type of action because you have like Will Ospreay, who just won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He had to give it up because of a neck injury, but again, their styles just speak more to that. Lana and Miro as with being like they
peas and carrots.
Yeah, exactly. They really are Forrest Gump and Jenny, just really, really muscular. You know what I mean? Like they belong together.
I may not be a smart man, but I am strong.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I
like
was slamming.
Right. I was dominating. So yeah, like they belong together. Ruby Riott, honestly, Ruby Riott can go to any one of the other big three. She can go to Impact, she can go to AEW, she can go to New Japan and do whatever excuse me. I said New Japan and do whatever she wants to do. Like she like I remember the first time I saw her in the Riot Squad, like she stood out to me like a sore thumb. I was like, yo, man, it's something about this chick. Like she looks like somebody that I don't buy wrestling. I don't buy wrestling.
I know where you're going, Cam.
Cam. I feel like I know where he's going to, so I'm gonna keep talking just to keep him from talking. I don't really buy wrestling merch, but I would buy her merch. And it's just, she just spoke to me ever since. Go ahead. God damn it.
All right. So I got two takes on Ruby Riott. Ruby won on the professional side. Ruby Riott is what Paige was supposed to be.
Ooh, have you seen Paige recently? Oh my god!
Stop! I'm not gonna. And on the other side, Ruby Riott is just my type. Like if anyone who knows me,
we knew.
Yeah. Ruby Riott is my type. I'm like, oh, all right, bet. Like, yeah. Not gonna go into details. Maybe on your kink resort or something like that. But
you can talk about your preferences there. Absolutely.
Yes.
But you know what? Also, while we're in the midst of this, while we're having a wrestling conversation, and you know, wrestlers are big and bulky and strong. If you want to get big, bulky, and strong, then you should go to blerdsandwhiskey.com and go to our partner page.
.com.
Shut up. It's the Jack Daniels. Leave me alone. Go to blerdsandwhiskey.com and go to our partners tab and click on FNX Fit. FNX Fit has everything that you go to FNXFit.com because they have everything you need to get big, bulky, strong, athletic. They have whey proteins, pre-workouts, multivitamins. They have workout gear. They have everything that you need to become your big Vince McMahon loving self. Use the promo code FNXBlurs13 to get 15% off your purchases from everything from FNXFit.com.
So
good job. Good crowbar.
This is a good crowbar. So speaking of wrestling though, because I know we were mentioning like the future of people like Tommy End or Braun Strowman, who's probably right now trying to go through his Twitter account and delete what he said about indie wrestlers and selling bootstraps. I don't know, man. Like Braun Strowman, I don't know if he does have a bright future because, like I said, he's 37. He's a strong man, but he doesn't really have a good presence of work. But the only thing he has going for him is his beard. He should have went to our promo page and got on our beard struggle and used our promo code Blurs1. He could have had some good follicles right there. You know, smelling good. He could have had Freya's Bliss. He already looks like a Viking anyway, so he could have had like Freya's Bliss or Loki's
Odin's word.
Loki's Odin's what all that good stuff. You know, he could have had a couple of combs from there, the wood combs, the brushes, the beard oils. You know, he looks like he takes good care of it. I don't know, but if he had beard struggle, maybe Vince would have kept him. But
wow, use promo code.
Yeah, that promo code. Yeah, Blurs1 take 15% off. You know, Braun Strowman could use that money right now because he had no job.
What's that, Jason Todd? You still moving, you son of a bitch?
No, he's gonna get that out the way. But speaking of getting that out the way,
good job, guys. Good job.
I guess I'm gonna go ahead and take over this little.
Speaking
segment.
of types,
speaking of types, our cosplayer of the week is a friend of mine, Ellie_May_cosplay. Ellie _ cosplay, real name Evie. We go way back. She's a good person. She actually is like super dedicated to like all the arts of cosplay, photography, costume design, mood lighting, setting, everything else. Like she is really she really dedicates herself, and she actually does a really good job on her cosplays. She's a good person. Like I said, like I'm just more biased than anything else. Like she's hot, she's Asian, she's
hey, Cam,
cosplays.
I got a baby D this one. Your friend Ellie. Hooks up. Put your boy on. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no to that one. I'm gonna be selfish.
You're just the worst type of person.
Anyway.
Yeah, so speaking of cosplays.
Oh, that's a low blow. That's a low blow. That is the low. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So anybody who's been following the show for a while knows I've been really excited about a show that recently released on Netflix. I was all hyped up about it because I read the comic and I talked to these guys about it when it first announced. And then when it came out, they didn't freaking watch it until after we talked about it. So I'm still a little pissed at you guys because of this. However, I'll move on. Jupiter's Legacy got canceled because none of you watched it. None of you watched it. None of you supported it. Not just you. I'm speaking to the Blerdverse out there.
Flag on the play. We did watch it. Thank you very much. It was slow as fuck.
It's called world building.
I was gonna wait. For that.
However, it's called world building. Some things take a while to get to the point. I don't care if you didn't like it. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't specifically talking about the panel here. I'm at the entire Blerdverse out there. I think we should have gotten more into it. I think we should have got behind it and given it better viewings, because then they might have been more inclined to keep it on and go into the second season. Now, I don't agree with the way the season ended. I think it should have ended like the first book, just to get people captivated, get people hooked on it. But since they canceled, I can spoil it now.
I was already saying, go for it.
Yeah, Jupiter gets his head blown off by his son because his son finally goes evil and is like, no, fuck that. We're going to take over the world. And this son of Superman decides to take over the world with his uncle on his back. And they wipe them out. And if I'm going to post the pictures of the killing so you guys can see it in the fan group, because it's epic. Just imagine if this was something they depicted on the show. I guarantee you, most of you people would have locked in on it and been like pandering for more. But I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to go. What does the panel think about the cancellation of Jupiter's Legacy?
Who wants to go first?
I will then. I'll go ahead and do this.
Here we go.
Yes, the show was slow, but my issue with the show isn't with like the actual show itself, is with the people who are the audience. I feel like today's society doesn't understand or appreciate world building story arcs. We don't give stuff a chance. We're used to binge watching. We're used to like everything has to be right now. If y'all remember how WandaVision went, a lot of people were complaining about like how the show was progressing, and people were like, "Oh, the show's moving too slow for me." I'm like, it's a weekly episodic thing. People forgot that shows. There's two ways how people make shows today in this day and age. They make them like either to be binge watched, like one solid long ass movie, or they make it like how it is episodic TV show with commercial breaks and stuff like that. So the pacing is set up a little bit differently. Nowadays, with all these streaming platforms, I don't watch most shows until like 2 or 3 seasons later. Like, and then I can binge watch like in one afternoon, like catch up by season 3 by the end of the week. You know, on my lunch break, I'll watch an episode, you know, stuff like that. So like, so it's like, I feel like we're not used to like a properly placed like world arc building show. I feel like season 2 would have led to what Trey was talking about, and we would have seen the epicness, the killing, the stuff like that. Because they did set up with the uncle was betraying them. That was the very last scene. They set up with the son questioning the dad and having issues with the dad having daddy issues. That was all built up. They built up with the daughter having daddy issues. They built up with the daughter possibly being pregnant or in a involved relationship
she's pregnant.
with the offspring of their greatest enemy. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was left hanging. There's a lot of stuff that could have been built up that people didn't pick up on because they're used to like, I want this shit now. And I feel like that's the issue.
So one of the more popular shows out now is that people love to talk about is Snowfall. I like Snowfall. I don't watch Snowfall during the season. I watch Snowfall once the season is concluded, and then I binge it on Hulu. All right. And if I watched Snowfall so that it was a periodic, if I watched it when it regularly came out, like weekly on FX, I would lose my mind, because it's honestly, if you look at it in a box, a lot of the episodes are left disjointed and unfinished. You know what I mean? And you got to wait a whole week to get that. Now with Jupiter's Legacy, they didn't really like it started out slow, but at the same time, there was a lot being built. And the people have lost the appreciation for building things. Like the first thing that I told people before they watched WandaVision was get the Marvel formula out of your head. Get it out of your head and just watch the show. This show portrayed me in the end, but at the same time, I appreciated it for what it was. And I feel like people just didn't appreciate Jupiter's Legacy for what it is. Like honestly, 9 out of 10 nerds didn't read Jupiter's Legacy. Have no idea. Like they may have heard about it, they didn't really read it or know about it. So this is something new and a different type of take that I feel like people just didn't appreciate. I watched it, and honestly, it hooked me from the first episode. Like most people was just like, "Oh, it's really, really slow." Well, there's something being led to here, though. It's leading me to something. So yeah, and I feel like a lot of people just can't take their preconceived notions of something and put them to the side for something new. And that's why I feel like that's why I feel like the failure of this show came in, where people just they couldn't put, oh well, Captain America did this and Thor did this and Superman did this and now Superman's going to be black. So I mean, so we can't just put that shit to the side and just appreciate something for what it is right now.
So real quick, looking at the comments, Drew said that's why DC cannot build a live action movie verse and why Marvel can, because they can build. I disagree with that statement, only because as we've stated multiple times on the show, Warner Brothers can't keep their hands out of the cookie jar. They want to throw in, they basically want to put their dick in everything, and they want to make it better in their own way. That's what they want to do. So that's why they can't build. Like they can build. If you look at their CW shows, they build up on those shows, and they can predominantly be pretty good. But when it comes to their movies, it's just, we're going to give you everything all at once, because they see what people who watch the Jupiter's Legacy are expecting. They want everything up front. They don't want to be patient. They don't want to fucking wait. So that's why they can't build their movie verse. But everything else, when they just...
You called the Warner Brothers execs Johnny Bravo.
Basically. So, Ambitious Boogie. What's up, Boogie? Question. So would y'all say the binge watching be the issue because everybody just want to watch it quick? Yes, I say that. Now, and I'm a fan of both binge watching and also serial watching. But if it is a show, if it like Game of Thrones, I got in Game of Thrones in season 2, and I had to shut up, Rick. I have binge watched the first 2 seasons, but I was hooked after the first episode. Yeah. Oh my God, we're not going to have a Game of Thrones argument right now, but
we definitely need to.
Yeah,
y'all really want to open up that can?
Next week we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. That's it.
Oh my God, we're really
going to Game of Thrones. We're going to
y'all want to do that?
Yeah.
We're going to do it.
We're doing this. This is happening.
Hold on. I would like to also call to counsel, Miss Rita. If you're going to be in the comments for next week's episode, I'm gonna need you to be very vocal. Thank you.
Defend your show, man.
Defend your show, man.
But guys, go ahead and answer Boogie's question. What do you think? Is it binging that's the problem, or
I don't think binging is the problem. I think the way that people are conditioned from binging is the problem. Because I'll give you an example, like the Titans show on the DC, I don't know, whatever, the Titans show. That process was made terribly because they made it a longer. They stretched it out as a long, like I guess, like 8-episode movie instead of just
coming.
Instead of chopping it up and then chopped it up, so it's like the cliffhangers were more like an interruption as opposed to like a cliffhanger. Oh, the end of the episode is end of the episode because it allotted the 45 to 60 minute time limit. It had nothing to do with how the show was set up. And that was the issue that they had because people are conditioned for everything to be like all at once. Like, so Netflix does everything all at once. Certain other platforms do everything on a weekly basis and release stuff like that. So it's like, I feel like the issue is how people are making these shows for these specific formulas, like the Game Changer thing. But to counteract what Godoni was also mentioning, because as usual he's wrong, DC was actually the originator of the world building franchise. Not even CW, even way back before then. If you look at how they did the animated universe, the DC AU, they started out with Batman, and then Batman and Batman Superman. Then they had Static Shock. They had Batman Beyond. They've had
Justice League
Unlimited. They've actually did a whole world building thing in the animated universe on all the TV shows and cartoon shows, so that it was also, they were individuals at the same time they can still combine. So DC does know how to do that. It's just that, like, I feel like people nowadays just want the payoff and not the actual build up anymore, and that's been going on for a while.
I think it's hard for me because I don't mind binge watching. If it's a great show, I will sit there and go through it within like 3 days, a whole series in 3 days. For me, it just felt slow from the jump. Like, you gave me the epic battle in the beginning when they killed the android guy. So I'm sitting there like, oh shit, this got my attention. But then it just felt like in the middle of it, it's just like, okay. And I'm guilty of that, of those people who says like, yeah, give me a little action. Because Marvel has came over there and gave you a little bit of action here, a little bit of action here. And they crammed it all within like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And I think the thing for people who I'm kind of like, is like, okay, you gave me a little bit of action and you gave me a great storyline. The storyline wasn't really bad. It just felt slow. Yeah, and I mean, it's just like when you get that action going a little bit, it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to tune in for next week. You gave me a great storyline. Cool. Wasn't any action, but you gave me the storyline. This was storyline, just slow, and then finally we got the epic finish. So, I mean, and it's just like, okay, for me, I didn't think it was a horrible show. I just felt it was slow. You gave me the big bang at the beginning, big bang at the ending, in the middle, you're telling the story. I get it. It's just sometimes it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that there are things, but ultimately it's like Drew just said, they can't take the dick out of it. Quick, like it's simple. Wow. They can't get out of their own way. But we are, in place of this, we are getting a book that I actually have not read yet, Super Crooks, which is also made by Mark Miller, who's a notable comic author. He's mostly noted for, if you guys are familiar, Old Man Logan. He wrote that story. The original Civil War. He wrote that story. Wolverine, Enemy of the State, and all these books you can find on Amazon. Go look them up. They're damn good reads, and any of them would be awesome to see in live action. Also, and Superman Red Sun, where Superman his ship lands in Russia. And he's raised as a communist, which is just
Red Sun. Okay.
You
were saying Red Sun, and I was thinking of the other one where he was like had cancer, and it was like he's gonna die. My mind got him confused. I got
hold on. You say his shit, but you were about to say his shit. I'm like, yo, Superman is flying around dropping deuces. Just take that.
But this is an example of why. So as a comic book,
he shakes his butt cheeks so the fabric. It'll just paste.
Anyway, no. As a comic book reader, as an avid reader, I know a good story when I see one. And Jupiter's Legacy. Moving on, Jupiter's Legacy is a good story. So if you watch the show and you did not enjoy the show, I recommend, like Cora was saying, the books are better. Give the books a chance. Find a way to read them. I'm not going to tell you where to go find them because that'll get us canceled. But yeah, find a way to read them. And fuck that. Report the comic book shops out. Support the comic book shops out there. And just but look up some of Mark Miller's writings, because they're actually good, and a lot of the stuff may down the line become TV shows, because he also wrote Super Crooks.
So about this Super Crooks thing, who the fuck wants to see Ocean's 11, but they explain away a lot of the mystical shit with superpowers?
Well,
who's asking for that?
If you remember last week's episode, everybody loves anti-heroes or turning villains into anti-heroes or protagonists. So, who knows? Like next thing you know, we're like, oh man, look at these villains killing people. So cool. We love these anti-heroes because they're not like, oh.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm going to echo the words of Rick Sanchez from Earth C-17. Your cheers mean nothing. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't give a fuck about no heist movie. I don't want to see a bunch of fucking evil villains going, you son of a bitch. I'm in. Get out of here. I don't care. I don't care.
there is one heist movie that I definitely look at.
Oh,
it's Dealing with Family.
yo,
Why? Why?
We take Super Crooks.
Nope.
They use dark heart.
All of you.
They use his heart and put it in.
I will blot you out like the fucking sun.
What is this? What the fuck just happened?
God damn it! I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this Fast and the Furious bullshit. Fast and the Furious, family. Furious, family.
All right, so Trey's muted.
Trey's muted. Can you imagine, like, if they had a better driver, they wouldn't have crashed into what's his name's daughter in the first place? If in episode, like, if it was like episode
Somebody
5.
go give me a Corona.
Yo.
Can I get a Corona?
Yo, they just oh man.
Let's see. Let me think. Can I fix Super Crooks into the Fast and Furious franchise?
Here we
absolutely
go. Have
can.
fun.
We absolutely can, because they're in Europe, and what happens is they cross what's Jason Statham's character's family name?
Don't know. Don't care.
They cross the Shaw family. Like, they steal a diamond that the mother stole years ago, right? So now the Super Crooks have to steal it from the Shaw family. They come in, and then Owen Shaw's just standing there. It's like, so you're going to steal from me, mom, right?
And this is Boogie. So you're gonna be Loba in Brawley cosplay. So are you going to BlerdCon? Yes. All right,
No.
BlerdCon. All right, bet. I'm excited to see you do that.
So
Let's
then
go
what
ahead
ensues is a fight between the Shaws, because they get the sister who had that virus in her from Hobbs and Shaw. And
Oh my God.
The Super Crooks, and the Shaws get defeated by the Super Crooks. So the Shaws are just like, well, we need to bring in the rest of our family. And then they bring in John and everybody else. And so now it's the Toretto Shaw clan against the rest of the Super Crooks. And then there's your movie, goddamn. I'm trying to tell you to do this.
And then you have Toretto that you can't see.
Oh no! Wait! Then The Rock shows up and he says, "Black Adam," and lightning strikes him. And he's got a black cape.
There you go, Trey.
There you go. Let's fucking go. Can't beat him, join him.
We got him in the game.
Actually, wouldn't be Black Adam. I'm thinking more he'd be like a direct descendant of the Scorpion King.
Oh God!
He would
shut up!
What did he say?
No, I got you. Haku Machete.
There we go. And then because if you realize, like, in that universe they did have to find like
left. God damn it!
No,
I gotta sit through this shit for 3 minutes.
because they had like a secret
3 whole
island to go
fucking minutes.
through, and they had to deal with like ancient civilizations and powers. So who's
For those of you who are not familiar, they do this to me about every episode. They just want to keep pissing me off by taking some of my favorite fandoms and basically bending my fandoms over with Toretto's cock. That's what they want to do every damn episode. So I'm sick of it.
Trey, your anger is our entertainment. Just let it happen.
So how much more time we got? 1 more minute?
We got 3 more. We got 3 minutes.
3 more minutes. I can do this. Hey,
got 3 minutes of playtime.
Check this out. I know who this man's going to sell it to. He's going to sell it to Universal. And going to keep it all in the family. So WWE is going to
Oh God.
Well, so The Rock can come back to wrestling. The Rock can come back to wrestling.
The Rock's not coming back to wrestling.
WrestleMania.
He's making too much money with Terry.
WrestleMania 40 is going to be The Rock versus Tyrese as the main event.
No. They got to sell it before Survivor Series. Then we have a Fast and the Furious 4-man tag Survivor Series match. And then one of those families is going to be like, they're going to have The Rock, they're going to have Vin Diesel, if they can get them in a room together, Tyrese, and then we're going to bring back the ghost of Paul Walker. And then everybody's going to get it. Don't forget John Cena is also Toretto, was a forgotten Toretto. Well, then, again, they're going to put him in a plastic Paul Walker face, and he's going to be the ghost of Paul Walker.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Remember, Shawn Michaels' tag team partner was God. Remember that? So, and Vince McMahon did the elbow drop on God. So they're just going to bring that back, and then we're just going to have, this is going out. My mind is exploding with excitement. I'm so excited for this.
That's what he's saving his budget for, so he can send the Fast and Furious franchise to space.
60 seconds, get it out of your system.
This is just awesome.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And the whole time,
just going across the ring, just jumping halfway, just
elbow
dropping.
And the whole time, Mr. Man is just clutching his fingers, going like this. This is such great shit.
Drew, they hurt my head too. Drew, they hurt my head too. I'm just tired.
The only reason
I'm
you
happy when they finally finish with this shit. And I'm actually excited about the fact that we're gonna talk about something I love next week. I love to see you guys try to take Game of Thrones and turn that into Fast and Furious.
Is that a challenge?
That's a challenge. That's the challenge. Let's see if you can do that in 7 days. Let's see what you can do with that.
I'm just gonna say this. First off, I'm gonna ruin your
say
fandom about
Vin Diesel is a horror high. I'm gonna fucking come over your house and stab you.
No, I'm gonna ruin your fandom about Game of Thrones. That's already done because I've been waiting for this day. Like, there's the reason why I jumped out there. I've been waiting for this. Second of all, you're challenging us three to connect Game of Thrones to Fast and Furious. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be fucking epic.
No, Drew, I hate Fast and the Furious because my son made me go watch these movies because my son loves cars, and then my friends have all been loving these movies, even though they break every bit of laws of physics in existence. And for some reason, the stupidest shit happens in these movies. Like, how do you there's no way.
Aaron told in the comments, Game of Thrones is the ultimate show about family. Exactly.
Okay.
So let me ask you this one question. Wasn't there a character? I mean, I'm very unfamiliar with Game of Thrones.
No, there's never been a horse carriage drip. Shut up.
So let me ask you. Trey, let me ask you a question. Wasn't there a character, someone like with no face in a character like that in Game of Thrones?
Can't see me.
Oh, he has no name, so you couldn't see him.
You're not going to make John Cena a faceless man. No, because I can see his fucking face. It is the dumbest gimmick in the world. So people can see him, so they pin him. So no.
Hey, Herb, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you, great, guys. Like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
I hate you all.
Up to it. Down to
it, and fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we're used to it. Drink motherfucking drink.
He's so mad.
We some margaritas because he got a lot of salt.
Yeah, plenty.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.